In this example, we're going to learn about PEMDAS and the order of operations. From the last example, we saw rule number 4. It told us that exponents are performed before the operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So we're going to use this final rule to put together everything we've learned in this unit about the order of operations. So first we have parentheses. We'll always perform parentheses first. Remember, we decided that this was our way of changing the order, so parentheses will always tell us what operation we need to do first. Next comes any exponents. So simplify items that are raised to powers or exponents. After this, we'll do multiplication or division as they appear from left to right. So remember this from the beginning. This is very important, okay? That will work from left to right for all multiplication and division. So they have the same order from left to right. And finally, addition and subtraction from left to right. Okay? So some people remember PEMDAS, and one way to remember it is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's how some people remember this for the order of operations. But remember that even though M comes before D in this mnemonic, that doesn't mean that you always do multiplication first. We always do them from left to right, similarly with addition and subtraction. So let's work some problems. So again, we're going to use a highlighter to highlight the operations, determine the number of operations, and then compute the result. So in parentheses, we have 8 minus 3, and that needs to be squared, minus 4. So notice there are 3 operations to be performed. We need subtraction, we need to raise a quantity to an exponent, and we have another subtraction. So there are 3 things we need to do here. Now let's follow the order of operations. So first we have parentheses in this case, and inside the parentheses is 8 minus 3. So that's what we're going to do first. 8 minus 3 is 5 squared minus 4. Now notice I wrote the 5 or kept the 5 in the parentheses, but it's really unnecessary now because there wasn't a negative in there. So here we have 5 squared, or 2 factors of 5, and that's the exponent, so we need to do that next. And 5 squared, or 2 factors of 5, is 25. So we have 25 minus 4. And now our last step is to subtract, and 25 minus 4 is 21. Let's check that we did our 3 operations, subtraction in parentheses, then we did the exponent, then we did the remaining subtraction. That's 3 operations with the result of 21. Let's look at the next one. Let's start by highlighting our operations. So 2 times 4 squared to the second power plus 3. So again, we have multiplication, exponent, addition. 3 operations. So of these, we have no parentheses to do first. Now we have an exponent we're going to do first. So 4 squared, or 4 to the second power. I'm going to write down the remainder. 2 times, well, 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. That's multiplication, plus 3. Now we have multiplication and addition. We do multiplication first. 2 times 16 is 32. Write the remainder of the problem, or the remaining problem. 32 plus 3. And that's our last operation. 32 plus 3 is 35. And that's our final result. So we had exponent, multiplication, then addition. Those are our 3 operations. Okay, now they're looking like they're getting a little more complicated. Let's get our highlighter out. So now notice this is a negative sign, that's not subtraction, and there's nothing to do within the parentheses. So this negative 3 is in the parentheses because we need to square negative 3. If there was no parentheses, we take the opposite of 3 squared. Now we have minus, well here is 4 times negative 3, but this is one of our invisible multiplications that we don't write, but it's implied by the number being next to the parentheses. So I'm going to highlight that up. Oop, not a highlighter. Highlight that up there. Multiplication here. Negative 3, no operations in the parentheses. Again, this is just around the negative number. And then we have plus 2. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 operations. So let's just review this. Negative 3 squared minus 4 times negative 3 plus 2. So, exponents, subtraction, multiplication, addition. We're going to do the exponent first. Now let's do this on the side. Negative 3 squared means 2 factors of negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3, and a negative times a negative is positive. So our exponent is going to give us positive 9. And now let's write the remaining numbers. Now we have subtraction, multiplication, and addition. So multiplication comes next. We'll bring down the 9 minus 4 times negative 3 is negative 12, since one's positive and one's negative. I'm going to put that negative 12 in parentheses, and the reason I'm doing that is because there's a subtraction sign here and I want to be able to keep track of which is subtraction and which is negative. Now we just have subtraction and addition left, and we perform those from left to right. So first we'll have to do the subtraction because it's to the left of addition. 9 minus negative 12 is the same as 9 plus positive 12. So 9 plus 12 is 21. And our last step is 21 plus 2 is 23, which is our final result. Now let's check that we've done 4 operations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exponents, multiplication, subtraction, addition. Let's do one more. 10 times 3 squared plus 8 divided by negative 4. So that's how this reads. We have multiplication. We need to square 3. We need to add. And we need to divide. The parentheses don't have an operation in them. It's just negative 4. So that's not an operation. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 operations to perform. Of these operations, exponents come first. So 10, 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 8 divided by negative 4. Now the remaining operations are multiplication, addition, division. Multiplication and division come before addition, so we're going to do multiplication first because it's on the left. So let's do 10 times 9. 10 times 9 is 90, plus 8 divided by negative 4. Now we have addition and division. Division comes before addition. So we're going to do this operation. 90 plus, well, 8 divided by 4 is 2. Since one of the numbers is negative, our result is negative 2. And again, I put the negative in parentheses just so it doesn't confuse us with the addition symbol. And now our last step is 90 plus negative 2, which is like 90 minus 2, or 88. So 88 is our final answer.